Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. I am here. Oi. We are back this morning, this afternoon. What am I saying? 12:30, right on time, almost. Almost? I don't have my watch on. Shoot. How is everybody? Get some music going. If it decides to actually play, that would be great. Oh yeah, you're gonna make me log in? Okay. Oh, okay. I seriously don't remember my password now. What is the password? No. Okay. We have it. Is it working? Oh, hey! Lady Kyra, hello! Hello, Ribbon Kitten! Hello, everybody. And by the way, it was wonderful to meet Ribbon Kitten today at the Satellite Cafe. And it was just quite a pleasure to meet somebody in person like that. So I hope you enjoyed our little chat. I sure did, and I look forward to more in the future. And I'm dropping things. My goodness. I went over and met Ribbon Kitten in person and gave her a couple gifts. Say hello. It was very, very nice. Okay. I left off doing this guy. This curve. That was fun, doing curves. So fun thing about curves, you guys probably already know about snipping those curves. Snippy snip. And of course you could always do the stagger version of the snip so that you don't get strong points. It's a little tedious, but it sure makes it look good when you're doing it right. So, jelly. Aww. Lady Kyra, you got one of those stickers, right? You were talking to... Oh, yeah, that's right, because you were telling me about how your kid almost swiped it. Oh, a new follower. Puppet Monster. Hello, Puppet Monster, and welcome. So glad you could join our little family here. I am excited. I think that should be another, either a sticker or emote or something. I'm excited about the emotes that I'm going to have done with a friend of mine. She is going to be making some custom emotes for subscribers only. And I think I puzzled out a few that are choice. And she said that she would do 10 of them, actually, in exchange for a dress for her kid, her daughter. And so I was actually just expecting that I would get 3 for an entire dress, but she said she'll do 10 of them. I can only use 3 for the Twitch. The sticker stealer will be home soon. Ooh, shake your fist. Hi. Yes, Puppet Monster, doing Lolita. I am not dressed in Lolita today. I got dressed up very quickly, so I this is my normie clothes. But usually I do try to at least, gussy up a little bit when I'm doing streams and stuff. Today is a lazy day. It's a cloudy day. It's cold day, so I'm just like, meh. Gamer t-shirt and jeans. That's fine. I also rushed out today so that I can meet Ribbon Kitten. So I just got dressed very hastily. I love Lolita and all your dresses are adorable. Thank you. I am so glad that you find my work adorable. I love doing it, and if I can impart some wisdom on anybody watching the stream, that is also a goal of mine. So if you have any questions about how I'm doing things, then you are perfectly perfectly okay to ask. I can't words today. Jeez, what's going on? Why music? Why then? Me too, super excited to see them. The new emotes, yes. Oh, I was looking at the Wonder Clips, that's right. I still have like things on here. Can we just, oh, hello! Hello, hello, hello! Hello, Clover Madness! Welcome, welcome to our family as well. So glad that everybody is here. Oh my goodness, it's just growing. It's so lovely. I love doing it. I hope you do too. Can we just move on to the next song, please? Thank you. Oy vey, schmear. Ads! Ah, no, they have ads. You know, if you are a subscriber, you don't get ads. So there's that. But I suppose they're not too problematic if you're just a follower, and occasionally they come up once in a while. But I do say this once in a while, that you can subscribe for free using Amazon Prime. I know a lot of people do have Amazon Prime. Amazon owns Twitch, so that's probably why they have that deal going on. Oh my goodness! What is happening? Oh my god, Lady Kyra, thank you so much for resubscribing. Is this your third month? Is this your third month or is this your second month? Either way, I know that you subscribed before, so that is super cool, and thank you. That helps me out a lot. It really does. Hello, Minty! Wish she had all the money. I know, Puppet Monster. It is a tough thing, and I do not like push it. If it weren't like a free option, if you just happen to have Amazon Prime, then I wouldn't really, I don't like pushing things like that. But if you happen to have Amazon Prime, then it is a free subscription that you can do. So I like to remind people that, yeah, you can totally do that if you already have this other thing. And it helps me and it helps you, and everybody's happy. I'm using pins. I'm using pins on this. I know, I never use pins. But actually, you know what I should do? Did I just pin my own finger? Good thing I have calluses. I need to fix this into place. Usually, I do like to try to teach the method of no pin sewing. Sometimes. Okay, this needs to be adjusted, I think. Oh. No, I didn't feel it at all. It's like after working with so many things with your hands, you start to develop calluses, so you don't feel it. Oh my god, that bunny sweater! If I had all the money, I would subscribe to everyone and buy all the Lolita. Yeah. What do you use instead of pins, or do you just not use anything? I will get to that question. Hang on, she's hardcore. Oh God doesn't need pins. No, come on now. It's just I mean, obviously I am using pins right now, but there are, for instance, if I was doing, what can I show you? If, for instance, I had this here, and it was like a princess seam going up to the neckline, and it had a curve in it, I actually don't use pins to sew this part into the curve. It's just a method that I learned while I briefly worked in a factory, and also just lots of practice. You can sew without using pins just by holding onto the fabric in a certain way and keeping an eye on your notches. Your notches on your pattern pieces and on your cut pieces are your guides. And so if you match your notches and keep your fabric appropriately tense without pulling on it, you can actually make sure that it fits within the designated area, and it should fit into that seam perfectly every time if you're holding it the right way. Why is this? Yeah, maybe it's this. Okay, the other thing that I want to show you is things like a curve. This is a concave curve, and this is a convex curve. This fits into this area here. Now you can't really stretch this out, but you can stretch this out so that it is more straight when you're sewing it. So this way you can manipulate the straightness of this actual curve into the convex curve. And so when you're sewing it, you can just kind of tense it up a little bit and make sure that this fits in there. And then once it's clipped and turned out, it actually looks right. So let's see. That's right, you should you should link those industrial clips you mentioned last stream in the Discord. You know, I actually did try finding those, and apparently the listing that I had purchased from no longer exists, so those clips are far more expensive than I thought they were now. You like get one for $8. It's like, wait a minute, something changed. It's been a long time since I ordered them though, so, you know, maybe I can find them on AliExpress or something like that. Ooh, I use all the pins all the time. I get stabbed a lot. Also, probably too many pins, but I'm scared of not using them. Same, I've been using less pins, but it's too hardcore for me without any pins. I mean, I am still doing a little pinning here, but, you know, just to err on the side of caution, all that fun stuff. Why? Why, music? Do I have to reload this? Do I have to do this? Are you going to make me get the hose? Just do it. Play music. I shake my fist at you. Okay, there we go. Well, Minty, I'm glad to hear that you're trying less pins these days. It's definitely something that not a lot of people can brave to do. Yeah, I'm gonna see. This is another reason why I'm like, maybe I should just try to do this. I really should have notched this. That's part of my problem here. But up until a straight point, I think I can manage. Also this satin. The satin! Okay, maybe can get away with it. Alright, we're gonna try it. Ah, the hose, oh my god. I say funny things a lot. We're gonna do this, we're gonna try it. Please don't get the hose on your computer, that's a bad idea. Yeah, probably not the best idea. I don't know if anybody knew what reference I was using. Where are the cats? I think one is sleeping on a chair over there, and the other one is probably on the bed, also sleeping. It's about their sleeping time. Cats? Yes, I have cats. I have two cats. They're Kara and Kal-El, and they're named after Supergirl and Superman. And Kal-El's just a doofus. He's a big ham. He likes attention. He likes to be held upside down where he stretches out. Let's see. I used Velveteen for my first ever sewing project. It was a terrible idea. Oof. Yeah, that's a challenge. That's like diving right into the deep end of a pool without ever having swimming lessons. But good for you for trying that. That's, you know, not even a lot of people can brave that sort of thing. That's just, if you say to yourself, yep, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna try it. And that's more than a lot of people ever do. Alright, let's see if we can do this. Can you see the machine okay? I had to move my camera yesterday. It was great. It was so fun. Okay, so I'm just gonna try my best to keep it... Oh, man. Can I, though? See, I don't have notches on this thing. Why did I do this to myself? This is supposed to be drafted perfectly, but I may have made a mistake. I don't know. course, it's been, you know, I realized this pattern that I'm using has been a while. It's been a while since I drafted the pattern, so it is possible that mistakes were made. So what do you guys think? We were talking about the emotes that I'm going to have done, and I think it would be really great fun to have the Not Today Satin emote as a sticker as well. I think we were talking about that briefly. Really? Okay, hang on, concentrating. I'm concentrating. Oh boy, what is happening? What is happening? What's going on here? Something is wrong! Seam rippers are best friends. But now she likes to sit on me when I'm actually sewing. Oh, your cat, I see. I always dive in the deep end. I made a cape. It wasn't terrible. That's good. The fact that you even did it, that is a good thing. Okay, wait. So, I am a little confused here. What is happening? What is happening? This is supposed to be... Unless... Oh. Did I... What did I do? Alright, I'm gonna check this other one. By the way, I don't use seam rippers either. I use razor blades. So, in theory, this should fit into the curve. In theory. Did I just, like... What did I do, though? Did I make the seam allowance, like, ridiculous? Or what? I feel like I did. Like, this seam allowance is way too big. Oh, no! There was much stabbing and many tears. I would cut my finger so much with a razor blade. Yep, it's faster. Yeah, it is. It's what they use in factories, and what you would do is you would use your presser foot on your machine if you're ripping a seam with a razor blade to hold it down taut, so one hand is free and the other one's just kind of shaving away at the taut seam. Anyway, let me check my pattern because apparently there's something wrong. Did I really? Unless it's just the fact that the satin itself is crazy. Okay, so here is my back facing. What did I do? This is the front. This is the back. So for all intents and purposes, it should fit within a centimeter of seam allowance. Why though? Center front lining. Center back lining. So this should... Oh. Oh no. I added... What did I? No, I didn't. I did, but I didn't, like, change this. You know, Carol might just be confused. And that is entirely possible. Carol gets confused sometimes. Carol also talks in third person sometimes. I'm gonna cry. What's happening here? Okay. No, my pattern is fine. It's just me. Hey, Star Dressmaker! Hello! so fast too. I'm so slow, especially on curves. Oh well. When you've been doing this for almost 20 years, I guess you get faster at it. You should have seen my early stuff. It's like, I was wearing a dress yesterday, actually, one of my first ones that I decided to drape for the first time after 10 years of not being in school. And the lining inside of it is just kind of a mess. It's you know, passable. It's wearable. It's just not to my standards of today. Okay, so for all intents and purposes, this should fit within the curvature of this. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on here, and I think I might need to reassess. There's like a big old bubble. Alright. I may get to show you my method of using a razor blade. Let's see here, let's see where... Oh, I've got them lying around different places. Probably in my toolbox. Toolbox it is! Hey everybody! I have a little announcement as soon as I find the thing that I'm looking for, which is right here. Alright. So how many people do we have right now? We've got about 7 people. So like you would a shoulder seam. Wait, did I miss something in the chat here? Oh, now it says, okay, Puppet Monster joined our server! Welcome, welcome! That's awesome, thanks for joining! Let's see. Hello, everyone. So, like you would a shoulder seam. I am trying to understand. I got off school and class for today. Oh, nice! Well, I'm glad you could join us. Glad you could hang out with us. Also, there will be another giveaway today for a sticker. And so I'm going to be starting that, why not right now? I'm going to start a little giveaway for our stickers. Yeah, I like my stickers, and apparently a lot of people do too. So we're going to do a little giveaway here. La 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 la. Giveaway time. Yeah. Oh, there, that's the one. Right, okay. Giveaway, giveaway, it's giveaway time. And for the next 30 minutes, you can put in a raffle ticket so that you can win one of our custom stickers over here. These beautiful vinyl stickers from Sticker Mule that I got. I like them, everybody else does too. Apparently Lady Kyra has a daughter who tried to swipe it from her, and so she was asking me if I sell them. But there you go, there's a sticker for the giveaway, and best of luck to you as I continue on my adventure. Oh, you can't have a space, so you have to do the exclamation point and then the word raffle. So let's see if I can bring you down over here, and I'm going to try to show you what I'm doing. I'm going to try to do my seam ripping method. So here, we are going to put it like this, so that the open seam, it's going to be held like right here. I'm going to actually hold it. Let's see, what can I do? What is the best way? Okay, I've got my razor blade. I don't know how well you can see this. Hang on. How about now? Is that better? Okay, so I got this pretty tight. Let's see, maybe I should just move this out of the way so that this is the one that's held, and I'm going to hold it like this. Oh, mistakes. Now let's get it. Let's get them so that they're flat underneath, and then try not to get any bubbling. So I'm getting both of the layers here. I got one, so I'm not entering. Aw, Ribbon Kitten. Yeah, you got one earlier today, didn't you? So yeah, there's no harm done. I just held it taut with my presser foot and I ran my razor blade right through the stitching. So let's try this again. Eek. We need an emoji for when you're showing how hardcore you are. Like in this moment. Really? You think that's hardcore? Okay. Well, that's it. Sweet. Oh gosh, you guys are so funny. I love you all. You're so amazing. I have the best community and the best friends in this whole thing. I love that we could talk about sewing. I love that you like watching it. Because this is just what I do. Hardcore frills! I'll talk to my illustrator friend about maybe doing something like that. Because I do need some more ideas besides the 3 that I already have. So we have my Wake Up Iron emote that we're going to think about doing. And I have the Not Today Satin. I thought that was really funny. And what's the other one? RIP Needle. So those are the 3 so far that I've come up with. Hardcore frills, okay? If you can think of any more, you let me know, because I don't know much about, like, what would make a good emote. So you tell me. Interfacing tape. Yeah, something like, probably what I'm doing here. It's just seam binding or seam tape. It's a fusible interfacing that's just about an inch or less wide that goes on the end, or the edge of the fabric to stabilize it. I would be on board for an emoji like that. So guys, if you want a sticker, go ahead and enter the exclamation point command with raffle next to it and put in your ticket for winning a free sticker, and I will send you a sticker. And then also those emotes might end up getting used as stickers as well, because my my illustrator friend said that she would do them in a high DPI. So that's fun. We could do stickers out of the emotes. Let's see, they had different sizes. I got the 1 centimeter. Ah, yes. Didn't you say that you got twill tape? You managed to find some twill tape that you needed. Okay, so for real now, I mean, for all intents and purposes, this should fit within the confines from edge to edge. For all intents and purposes, it should fit in there. Of course it is turned. I mean, maybe I can just do it from here? Why am I struggling? Alright, well, I might try something. Hang on. Maybe. I'm gonna try doing it with the concave curve on the top. Maybe I can control it better that way. See if we can do this. Okay. So, first things first, I'm gonna start it. The only pins I have right now are on the edges of the piece. So, we don't mess with it in the air, remember? We only, we line up the end that we're gonna start on, put our needle down, and then we can futz with adjusting and lining it. So, this way I'm gonna be pulling on the curve like this, and maybe this way I'll be able to control the way it fits into that curve a little better, because it should fit. It is cut to the dimensions that it needs to be. Okay, and then I'm just going to try to take it slow. It's supposed to be at 1 centimeter wide, and I'm just stretching the hell out of it. fit it into the curve. I think that's maybe looking better. Maybe. It might also be something to do with the, might have something to do with the seam binding that I have on there, the seam tape. No, I think this might be working, maybe? Question mark? Just taking it slow, taking it slow, taking it slow. Oh yeah, that's working, I think. Let's see how it looks when it's all done. Phew, okay, I think I got it. Eek. Well, it is just the facing. I'm not too worried about that. So it got a little puckered right on the end here, but it did fit into that area. So that was fun. Yay. Oh, it started snowing here. Oh my god. Snow! It was snowing up in Santa Fe the other day, last week actually, when I went up there for classes. I was like, still, you know, okay, it's just light sweater weather. And come up to Santa Fe, which is not that much of a difference between Albuquerque and Santa Fe, and all of a sudden I'm like, why is there snow on the ground? Why is this happening? This is not supposed to happen yet. This is too soon! It's too soon! Cried when I got out of the car and there was like snow on top of vehicles. I'm like, really? Wishing I brought my jacket, but of course I was not prepared. I was thinking, oh, it's fine. It's just fall. It's fall weather. Santa Fe is a little bit higher than we are, apparently, so, you know. Let's see. This is all going to have to be pressed before I am done. Okay. There we go. Yeah, it got a little puckered, but like I said before, not too concerned. It mostly fit into the dimensions that I needed. And there we go. I only put a pin here and here, and the rest was all done by hand. So it all depends on the way that you manipulate your fabric. And that's actually how I did this one as well. Although I think maybe I put in more pins for this one just because I'm like not trusting myself or something. I don't know. Let's see here. Maybe it's a story time sticker. And Star, your heat went off? Glad it's back on. Oh, that's terrible. Your heat got off? That moment when the inside of your house is colder than the outside. Ah! Oh my god, Albuquerque in a nutshell. The weather never knows what it wants. No, our weather is very bipolar. That is for sure. It's like, maybe I'll rain today. Okay, a little rain. No, I changed my mind. I'm going to stop. Oh no, how about some snow? No? Snow? Rain? Okay, sleet. So, yeah, it's super, like, cannot decide what it wants to be. Do you want to be a cloudy day with some sun, or do you want to be a sunny day with some clouds? It's crazy here. Alright, so I think I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to make sure that I have the top part showing when I'm sewing this part right here, and I'm just going to put a pin on the ends. Hello to new people just tuning in. Thank you so much for joining. We're sewing curves with minimal pins today. Usually I try not to use pins, but this is proving to be a little difficult, so I'm just using some pins on the ends. Okay, so definitely gonna fit in this designated area. We got our curve going this way and our curve going this way. Let's see how we do. Alright, so I'm going to stretch the top concave again. I'm going to start it though. Let's actually start this. We're going to start it. We're going to do our back tacking. Alright, and now that we've started, I can adjust accordingly. And we're just gonna make sure that this part on the top is just stretched out. Here, calm down, come look at what I'm doing. So here we go. Here, I'll even, I'll do a little close-up like this. All right, guys. Let's see if we can do this. Let's see. So I'm not stretching this part, I'm just gonna stretch the top because this is the top that can stretch. And it is drafted so that this curve should fit in there. And we proved that just now. So now it's getting into a little bit more of a curve. I'm gonna make sure that that bias part is stretched out as much as it can go. And it seemed to work the first time. Let's see here. Okay, I'm gonna stretch, stretch, stretch. And just take it a little bit at a time. I did get a little puckering with the first one. I don't know if we can avoid that, but we're gonna try. Okay, using all my fingers. Using all my fingers. Yeah, I think we might be okay. And then of course I've got the pin on this end too, so that's helping me keep it together. It's not gonna slip. Okay, stretch, stretch, stretch. And yes, I sew over my pins. It's okay, I have plenty of needles to replace them. Okay, I think we're good. I think we got this. See, minimal pins. So let's see how we did. Yeah, that's much better. That is much better. Perfect. Perfect! Okay, snippy time. It's snippy snip time. Snip, snip. Doing our staggering. Up and down. And this is really more for when you're doing collars and things that are going to be shown on the shell of your piece. This is to prevent the points that you get when you're turning out a curve that's been sewn. So this is supposed to eliminate those points that you have when you're snipping the first time. Okay, okay, and right here. Alright. Oh, Star, you should make kotatsu. Kotatsu. Oh yeah, you could make cute blankets for it. I like kotatsu. I wish I had the room for one. I like the idea of them. Yeah, some kotatsu with a blanket over it and everybody curled around it watching TV and drinking hot green tea, something like that. That sounds like a nice time. Sounds like a really nice time. Okay, well, these are looking pretty good. We got our curves of our facings put into the lining. Melon! Melon! Hello, Melon! Welcome, welcome! I'm just catching up here with the chat. Yes, we have a raffle going on right now. If you're just joining us, you can win one of our stickers here today. I will put it right here. Right here. Sticker! Oh, I don't know if I can put it in view of the camera. No, I guess I can't. Anyway, it's one of these. You can win one of these stickers here from Sticker Mule. You got your sticker today! Yay! I hope you like it! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Creme brulee! I love it! Creme brulee, thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you for following me. That's so exciting. I'm so glad that you're here. I hope that you get something out of this. I love to do it, and I say that every time I get a new follower. I'm like, I love doing this. It's like, I guess that's validation for this thing that I do. Oh, I've been watching your videos for a while now. Whoa, that's awesome. Ah, that's awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Well, and also I'm always open to requests. So if anybody has a request of something they want to see specifically being made, let me know, because I've got I've got all the things. I've got all the pattern books. So I have all the Otome no sewing books, and I have a sizable portion of the Gosurori pattern books, as well as a lot of the Gothic Lolita Bibles. So, and those have patterns in them. So I try to have them on my archive. I have not completed the archive for the Gothic Lolita Bibles, which is the entire reason I started that archive. But if you wanted to peruse that and say, hey, I found this on your archive, can you make it? And I'm like, sure. Because, you know, why not? Oh my gosh. I like your name, by the way, Scrim Brulee. That's very, very cute. I am amused. So, alright, we got our lining with our facing. We have... I'm trying to prepare the little things first, so... Let's see. We have our collars. I need some purple. I mean, I could, for all intents and purposes, just use the same pink, but that would not be very professional of me, so I should probably change the color. Yeah, maybe that one. Oh, actually, you know what I have is, no. Nope. Okay, we're gonna use this one. We're using that. Welcome, our only rule is never disrespected a cat. Never disrespect a cat. The cats are to be worshipped and adored. Where is Cat? Oh, Cat is not here. They are both probably sleeping. My guess is that they're probably both on the bed right now. Or maybe my little Kal-El is curled up in his little bed, because he likes to sleep in his bed on the floor, and Kara is the one that hogs the bed. Let's see, it's not in here. Where is my color? Is it this one? I think it's this one. Yeah, we'll use that one until it runs out. So many bobbins. I always wanted a kotatsu. Yeah, I wish I had room for it. That would be really nice. Oh my gosh, I can't tell you how happy I am that everybody's here right now. It's so nice to see that number. When I look at how many viewers I have, I'm like, oh my god! There's 11 people watching me right now! That's awesome! Quiet cats are probably up to mischief, cats. You are probably correct. Yes, Ribbon Kitten. That is not an untrue statement. Although, you know, they do have their quiet time. They are nocturnal creatures, so this is around the time that they're mostly sleeping. It's at night in the evening when my boyfriend gets home from work that eventually they start like going after each other and climbing onto things to get attention and just knocking shit over because they can. They get sprayed most at night. Let's just say that, because we do the spray bottle thing. It's pretty harmless and they don't like it. Okay, got that set up until my bobbin runs out. I think I should have enough for the purple parts. I suppose I could just do the belt while I'm at it, since I've switched to purple for now. I'd be concerned about fire safety. Oh, for a heater? For the kotatsu? Yeah, well, I mean, they've been using them for years, for a long, long time in Japan, so there's got to be like some standards, I assume. Okay, let us make sure that our notches are properly notched so that I don't lose them. I mean, it is marked. Just want to make sure that I get that little notch in there. So guys, notching, if you don't know, if you've ever worked, has any of you worked with a commercial pattern? I talk about this sometimes. And you see those triangles on the commercial pattern, and I know I've talked about this. So many people get taught or have seen others that they learn from cutting out these like meticulously cut out little triangles to replicate the triangle on the commercial pattern. Which, like, I don't know why anybody would take the time. Oh, I was a triangle cutter until recently. You confess, and I forgive you. You are forgiven, and that's okay because sometimes we just learn bad habits from people who don't know any better, and that's no fault of their own. And nobody probably told them either. But notches don't need to be triangles ever. That's taking way too much time in something that should take not time at all. A notch in a commercial, or I'm sorry, in an industrial pattern is just a little snip. And a notcher, if you ever look at what pattern makers use to create notches in their patterns, it's just a little slit in their pattern. And that is all it needs to be. You just need to mark placement, that is all. So no more triangle cutting. It is unnecessary and time consuming. No. Oh, everybody's confessing to their triangle. Wait, you don't have to make the triangles? Well, I learned something new. I feel so stupid now. No, don't feel stupid. Everybody just learns differently. Just like the whole don't sew over your pins thing. You can sew over your pins. It's okay. The probability of you actually hitting a pin while you're sewing over them is so small, especially if you don't use that many pins. There's no reason to not use pins or sew over them. Oh yes, you can sew over your pins. It's a misconception that you shouldn't, and that the reason why is because most of the older generation who were sewing at home did not have access to replacement needles for their machine, nor did they have good access to repairs for their machine should the timing go off. The fact that the timing would be harmed by hitting a pin is so remote, it's more than likely that you would get your needle broken first. So finding replacement needles was really the thing that kept you from sewing over your pins, because if you broke a needle, it was very difficult to find replacement ones. Nowadays, you can order things in bulk. I have just a whole drawer, actually 2 drawers dedicated to different size needle replacements for my home machine and for my industrial. I sew over my pins all the time. I break my needles often enough that I'm considering getting an emote that says RIP needle on it, and it doesn't really harm anything, and it just makes your life easier and makes your work go a lot faster. So there you go. Yeah, I think it's orientation. All of my knowledge is wrong. It's not wrong, it's just different. I was told not to because it would mess with the timing, but yeah, the fact it won't really, unless it's like super sensitive. I don't know. I've never had my timing messed up because I broke a needle, or I sewed over my pin and broke a needle. In a spot and I drop one track that I know will grab their attention. Straight headshot, man, I go for the kill. Guys wanna talk about holding a mill. Ain't no food in your fridge now, you better focus on holding a mill. Draw for the gun, draw for the gun finger. Draw for the gun, draw for the gun, draw for the gun, draw for the gun finger. So let's see. Just don't take them to the overlocks, or yeah, don't do that. You don't need pins for your serger. That'll mess things up real bad. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Don't do my mistake. How do you place your pins though? Horizontal? Yes, exactly. So pinning, I always do it horizontal unless there is a specific reason I need to pin in the direction that I will be sewing, in which case I do pull out my pins while I'm sewing. There are different reasons to pin in different directions, depending on the way you need to stabilize your fabric. For the most part, if I just need to keep 2 points together in the same spot, most of my fabric manipulation is done with my fingers, and the pin is just there to make sure that one spot is in the spot that it needs while I'm manipulating the fabric in other ways. So there you go. You learned some things new. It's great. That's what this channel is all about. I talk out loud and I get to impart some wisdom with people. That's what I do. Let's see. Carol, hang on. Ribbon Kitten says, Carol, if we can ask you to make something on stream, is there a voting system, or do you choose the project? And I was wondering about the needle thing. I was told that the needle could shatter and destroy my eyes. No, the needle, I mean, it will break, but it's mostly going to still be attached to the thread. So a lot of the time you can fish it out by the thread that it's still attached to because it's through the eye of that needle. No, it's not going to shatter. Most of the time they'll just bend, actually. So, yeah. Let's see. And what else? And as for a voting system, you know, that actually is a pretty good idea. Sometimes I have trouble choosing projects, and I like to gain the insight of others that might want to see something very specific. In fact, the time-lapse, I have a second time-lapse video on my YouTube channel where I do the A-line skirt, originally the military skirt, but I did the base pattern that's used for the military skirt. And I did that because somebody suggested they wanted to see it. So that's the whole reason I did that skirt. But as for a voting system, that's actually a pretty good idea. I'm going to have to investigate that a little further to see what tools I can employ in order to create a voting system. I wonder if I could do that with Streamlabs. Oh, are you Tea and Treadle patterns? Oh, that's right. Did I get a chance to check out the Tea and Treadle pattern that you sent me? I did look at it. I didn't get a chance to thoroughly take a look and figure out what I might do with it, mostly because I'm inundated with these commissions right now, but I did receive it and I did take a look at it. The instructions are, I think I told you, are kind of all over the place, and I'm just like, wow, okay. But as for the pattern itself, I haven't been able to analyze it completely yet. I'm going to trim this. I'm trimming, I'm not grading, I'm just trimming. I feel it needs to be a little bit less bulky on that edge. Yeah, so let's see, what other advice can I give you? For those of you who are new here, Melon and Minty have been here for a long time now, and of course I have inducted them into the Church of the Woven Interfacing. And I think they can tell you all about, have you heard about our Lord and Savior Woven Interfacing? So that is another thing I like to definitely stress to people is stop using non-woven. Stop it. It's not doing you any favors, and it's terrible, terrible quality. So use woven cotton interfacing or use knit interfacing. Not the paper stuff. Oh, yeah. Oh, honey. Oh, honey. Yeah. Cotton woven interfacing, because if you think about it, if you're interfacing something, you want the fabric that it's being interfaced to still behave like fabric. So how to do that? Well, you would fuse then a like fabric to it. So if you're using cotton fabric, use cotton woven interfacing. That way it moves and wrinkles, well, it doesn't wrinkle really, but moves exactly like the fabric it's adhered to. And it just has an overall better look to the final product, especially your collars and your cuffs. I don't know if you are familiar with the effect that you might get from the non-woven on a cuff or a collar, but you might notice that it crinkles a lot and kind of stays that way after a while, especially after washing it. So in order to avoid that, stop using non-woven. It's just pressed paper. You don't want to use paper on your fabric like that. Okay, hang on, I'm concentrating. I'm concentrating. I think I cut through one of my seams here. Might be okay. The Church of Shapeflex! Yeah. I use fusible interfacing. I don't know what it is. We need an emoji for the Church of Shapeflex. Okay. That's a good one. If you use Pellon, if you use anything that doesn't look like it's made on a loom, it's probably a non-woven interfacing. So if you get it at Joann's, it's probably a non-woven interfacing. So look for Shapeflex or something like it, or woven interfacing. It is fusible. It's you can also use the sew-in. What the heck was that just now? Yes, I know, the cheap stuff. That's usually the cheap stuff, and I understand. I do a lot of clothes, and I do buy things in bulk. So the best price that I actually found for the Shapeflex interfacing is Walmart.com, and I got a 10-yard bolt of it for $25. So that's gonna last me for a little while at least. I should think. I don't do a lot of clothes. I'm a normal plushie maker, beginner clothes maker. Okay, question for edge printed fabrics. I've seen Taobao ones printed on straight of grain, salvage edge side. Yeah, isn't that wrong though? Because people cut patterns on the weave horizontal. You know what? If it's an even weave fabric, it's okay. Even weave meaning it's the same going horizontal or vertical. I have some fabric as well that I could share with you. Why? Is that the song? I'm so confused right now. I'm gonna share some fabric with you right now. Let's share fabric. Can I get to the fabric? Oh god, have you guys seen my fabric stacks here? It's a little bit nuts. Yeah, I know. I have too much fabric. Oh, there it is. Oh my god. Phew. Okay, this is just 2 of the 4 bolts that I own. You may recognize it. I'm not sure if you do. Oh no. I know what it is. I know what it is. I know what it is, and it's my speaker, I think, is about to die. Let's fix that. I think I have not charged my speaker in a while. This might be the case. Hang on. Yeah, that's what it is. It just sounds like a phone, and it's very confusing. Okay. Speaker is plugged in now. What was I doing? Let's see. Okay. It's probably not been. It's a clever question. Yeah, about the how to tell if even weave. I will tell you in a minute. You have to look at the fabric. I'm just making plushies, actually. That's awesome. I have not made plushies. I got a pattern for plushies. And for a plushie, it's actually a shoulder dragon. I just saw it at Walmart one day, and I'm like, I think I need this in my life, and I need to find a plushie fabric for it now. Maybe I'll make a plushie on stream sometime. And then I can make a whole bunch of these shoulder dragons and sell them, because it'd be fun. Look at them, you'll see threads. Make a different pattern than on normal cotton. The list of plushies I want to make, but I really want to make life-size ones. I also want to make plushies, but I can't find the fabric for them anywhere here. Yeah, I would have to go online for it. I have yet to make huge ones. I started out using flannel. If that helps at all, plushies are surprisingly versatile. I know it might not be everyone's taste, but I want to make life-size My Little Pony vinyl scratch and Octavia Melody plushies for me and my boyfriend. That's cute. I can only find white flannel. Oh man. Okay, let's get back to this now. Okay, so here I have a couple examples of the kind, I think, of fabric that you were talking about, where the border print is along the selvage here. And that's actually pretty common. When you see a border print like this, it's usually going to be printed along the selvage. So in this case, instead of going this way, when I make a rectangle skirt, I will just measure out about 45 inches or so, going this way, and just, well, since it's on a fold, it's actually on both sides, the print. And then I would get my 90-inch rectangle skirt. So sometimes in the middle I'll use that so that I can make the bodice part of this dress. I made a dress out of this, a jump skirt, and I sold it, so I don't have that one anymore. I still have this one. I priced it kind of high, and I think I took it down from Etsy because I love this fabric and the dress that I made out of it for myself so much, I kind of lost the nerve to sell it. And I only have like this much left of it. Look, like probably enough for maybe one or two projects left out of that. So I have these, and then I have two more. I have a pink version of this that I've not cut into, and I have like an all-over Cinderella print in blue. So yeah. As far as how can you tell something is even weave? Yeah, you just have to look very closely at the fabric. This is, of course, satin, but the satin refers to the weave itself. A satin weave is a very particular kind of weave. Twill weave, for instance, you might recognize from various things. There's fabrics called a file, which is spelled F-A-I-L-L-E, file. And that's usually with ridges. Kind of reminds me of corduroy, but it's very, very fine. There's Dobby. There is... let's see, what's the other one that I'm trying to think of? There's a lot of different weaving types. An even weave is just basically your typical like calico printed quilting fabric. So it's the same going horizontal as it does vertically. All right, so Dobby! Yeah. Only occasionally when flannel cause you problems, usually on more advanced projects. I don't use minky and only recently started using more fleece, and I've been doing it for about a year. Okay, oh, let me just show you real quick the project I have in mind is, I really want to make this shoulder dragon so bad. Maybe you've seen this one. It's that shoulder dragon project. I really want to make this. I really, really do. And I guess I could just make it out of fleece, couldn't I? So I'm gonna set that aside. I might end up making it Dargan. It's a Dargan. I will never grow up. This is I know how old I am. Some of you know how old I am, but I'm actually just gonna be perpetually 12 forever. And I love dragons and unicorns, and I don't care. So there's that. Oh my god, that! Yes, I know, right? I want to get that pattern. Okay, so it's Simplicity pattern number 8715, in case you're wondering. If you want to follow me doing this project, which I hope I can do so soon, I'll just need to get the materials for it. I think it would be really fun to make a little shoulder dragon. I just want to make a dragon so that I can have it for D&D. Because the NPC character that I control for the game, she's a moon elf and she has a fairy dragon companion. So I thought it would be really fun to make a little shoulder fairy dragon. Yeah, I am always going to be very young at heart. Alright, do I need to mark my notch? Yes, probably. I'll mark my notch here. Marky Mark and the funky notch. Oh god, that's terrible. I shouldn't make myself laugh. That's a bad sign that you're not actually funny. I will forever have 1,000+ plushies and 90s kids toys. Don't like it, don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. Yay for D&D companion. Yeah. We're just having a good time. Oh no! No! I de-threaded my needle again. I hate it when that happens. Good for LARP character as well as cosplay too. Yes, for sure. I have only done LARPing once, and it was a Vampire the Masquerade game. So it was very interesting. I was invited to this thing via somebody who knew somebody who was throwing a Vampire the Masquerade LARP party, and we were all given our roles, and I forget exactly the details. I'm not that into Vampire the Masquerade, so I don't remember exactly like the different houses. I just know that the vampire house that I was assigned to, and I was apparently the head of, was the fashionable ones. So they were very haughty and full of themselves, vain, and appreciated good fashion sense. So that is as much as I remember about my character. And I made a few people uncomfortable with my explicitly and overt sexual advances so that I could get information from them. I was playing the character, and they're, vampires are extremely sexual, and so I was just kind of like mildly hitting on a girl, and apparently she got extremely uncomfortable with my in-character sort of play, and so she had to excuse herself, and I think she left the party. I'm like, I'm sorry, I thought this was what we were supposed to do. So I was in my very early 20s when that was happening. I was very goth at the time. I was into paganism and all that stuff, so I had some very interesting worldviews, let's just say that. My next character has a body pillow of the goddess Saloon, and I kind of want to make one for our game. Oh yes, Saloon, she's Forgotten Realms, I think, isn't she? Trying to get this curve right. Oh, let's see. I laugh at my own jokes too, and Rigby from a regular show is my spirit animal. I really want to get into tabletop gaming. Yeah, I run a D&D game on Sundays that we have a lot of fun at. We haven't played in a little while due to conflicting schedules, but it's a really overall fun time, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. It's like the best thing anybody could do, especially if they're going through like difficulties in their life or trying to figure out how to maneuver through life. Apparently D&D is really good for you. Oh my gosh, huh? Oh, hello Himmel! Hello and welcome back! Alright, we got some collars. Hang on a second. Oh, my nose! Oh my goodness! I heard about that Harry Potter LARP online. Oh gosh, that's right. They LARP at a real castle. That's pretty cool. That's really cool. Alright. I am going to trim this down just like I did the first one. Just a little bit so I can get rid of some of this bulk. Did I tell you that the blouse pattern that I drafted on the stream like a while ago now, I did not account for the 2 centimeters that should include the front placket of the blouse. So now I have to redraft that. It's not too hard, it's just a matter of extending it on the center back, but still, it's annoying. I have to do that. Trials and tribulations of my job. Okay. Okay, I'm trying not to cut through my seams this time. Phew. Okay, sorry, I'm concentrating. So tedious. I wish there was like an automatic snipping machine that I could just like instantly do the edges like this, but it is what it is. It's fine. So how are you doing, Himmel? How are you doing? What's going on? What's the, oh no. Did I miss something? Oh, that's right. The thing that I was, you are responding to something I said. I forget that that is something that happens. So, yeah, it's not a big deal. It's not. Oh boy, it is just part of my job. We all make mistakes, even if we've been doing this for a long time. Okay, so I have this snipped and turned out. I have my satin lining with the facings here. Let's see, what else? I'm gonna add that to my sleeves in a minute. I've got my collars here. I think this would be the last thing I need to do. So this is gonna be the belt. This is the center front of the belt, and on the sides is gonna be these extra bits. It's then going to get folded this way and then turned out. So the way I might do that, let me think now. So I should just be able to turn it out pretty quickly if I just put this together, and well, you'll see. You'll see what I'm talking about. All right, no pins now. Oh, who's leaving? Oh, there's still the raffle thing? Let's see. Let's see if it should have said something that it was over. Did I miss it? I just got dropped into La La Land, not even paying attention. Yeah, it's over. Alright, guess what? Scrambule, new follower, you are the winner of today's raffle. So, yeah, you want a sticker. If you're still there, just let me know. So, are you still there? Creme brulee, you want a sticker? Say something. Say something. I don't know if they're there. Did they leave? I know it was a little while. I'm sorry I wasn't paying attention to the timer. I just got caught up in conversation. Oh no! Did Creme Brulee leave? Because if they're not there, we might have to pick another winner. Are they on Discord? I don't think they're in our Discord. Well, we'll give them a chance to come back. I don't know if they're still there. Oh, I know. It's so sad. That's okay. It happens. Okay, thank you, Melon. Okay, so this needs to be pressed. Oh, looks like I have to do some pressing now. It's time for pressing. So I need to put this down for a second. Oh, pressing time. All right, wake up, Iron. I need you. Oh boy, I need water too. Holy crap. Oh yeah. Hey, by the way, guys, for those of you who are still around right now, especially those of you who hang out with me the most, I am in search of perhaps a moderator for the chat. So if something like that is interesting to you and you want to help me out, I would be forever grateful. I'll give you free stuff. But yeah, it came up in conversation with my boyfriend that maybe I should consider finding a moderator for the chat here. Because I can't actually do everything, even though I want to believe that I can do everything. I do need a little help from time to time. I may have broached the subject before. Alright, so that is butterflied. Oh yeah, I need to turn that down a little. Let's see, maybe create a list of stuff the role would be in charge of and post it on Discord? Yeah, that's probably a really good idea. Thanks, Clover. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Not letting me see their profile. Well, that's a shame. That's a shame. Alright, well, who else was here? Clover Madness, you are new winner! You are the new winner of our giveaway! So it is you now who won a sticker! So, glad you're still here. And you get to get a sticker. So let me know in, I guess on Discord, if you're on our Discord channel, go ahead and send me your information so I can send a sticker out to you. They are nice, they are fun. Yeah, that's a little better. Less harsh. I realized I still had it on the cotton setting. So I'm like, wow, it's sticking really good to this. I'm like, probably too hot. Yes, you won! Oh, you're, so I'm mailing information, so I can send you the sticker. Just privately on in a DM. If you're on Discord, that's the way that most people do it. looks pretty good. Yeah. Sounds like zircon. Is this zircon? I'm actually familiar with zircon. It is zircon! I have this cell phone. I say that every time I see it when it's on pretzel rocks. I'm like, hey, I know this. Oh my gosh, I just realized something. Today the 7th? Today is the 7th. I have to teach a class today at 5:30. At Joann's of all things. I'm going to teach how to use a serger. Whew! Wow, I totally forgot about that. Holy crap. Oh my god. Let me look at my calendar real quick. Yeah. 5:30 p.m. serger class. That means I probably have to fill out this information and bring it back to them. Oh boy. Oh, that is right. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. It's just some people need to learn how to use a serger. We've never done it before. Okay. We got these beauties right here. So this is our... Where is our shoulder? Okay, that's the front. I think. Oh no, it goes like this. Well, it's a good thing I have these marked. I would be very confused. Alright, we got that, we got the belts. We have this to do, we need to press this. That looks very nice. And let's see if we can get rid of this little bit of it comes right out. Ah, also, question. How would one put boning in dresses? That is a very good question, and more than I could just answer in a few words, there's a whole method to it. The easiest way is you make a channel or a casing using twill tape, and I have some here actually. I think I can just show you. I think I had a whole bunch of it here in this pile. Really? Did I get rid of it? Did I move it somewhere? Maybe I was smart and finally put stuff away. Okay. I do not have my giant roll of twill tape, apparently. Unless I put it... Did I put it away, really? I must have. Alright, well anyway. Depending on the size of the boning, you want to have twill tape that's just a little bit wider than that. Make some some channels or some casings for them, and you feed your boning into that. You can use spiral steel boning. You can use flat steel boning. You can use rigline or ridgeline. It just depends on how stiff you want the boning to be. Sometimes you can have an underlining to the dress itself where the boning would be attached to, so that if you don't want the casings to appear on the outer shell of the bodice, then you might use an interlining that the boning would be inserted into. Okay, this time we're going to move these darts the other way so that they're nested. Also, I need to get rid of this blue right here. How would one wash a dress with boning then? Very carefully. Usually just spot cleaning. It wouldn't necessarily be something that should be worn all the time, and is either washed by hand or dry cleaned. Let's see, it's been forever since I watched this YouTube channel, but it might be relevant. It's about corsets and corset making. Would that be between fashion fabric and lining? Yes, it would. It would be inside as like a skeleton part of the dress itself. You'd have your outer shell. You would have basically a replica of that outer shell made out of something like muslin or some other cotton. Or you know, if it's a shell, you want to like try to match the quality of the fabric to the shell, of the inner lining to the shell. But it would be basically that. It would be inside of between the lining and the shell fabric. Okay, so there's this. Thanks, you're welcome. You're welcome. I hope that helped. go. I think we're done with the iron for now. My costuming class is currently having a start on making corsets. Was how I got interested in boning and corsets. We're currently only on the mock-up fitting of regular body block right now, though. That's cool. One of the first things they had us do when I was an apprentice at the Santa Fe Opera was everybody made a corset. It was a rehearsal corset for a particular performer, and like each of the apprentices were assigned already cut out draper's fabric of the corset for one particular singer. And it was just up to us. It was kind of like our test of putting together the corset. That was our first assignment ever while I apprenticed there. And it was a learning experience. I was very close to being the first one done, but a very talented costume maker beat me to it. And, you know, he deserved it. He was very, very good. But I definitely looked up to him as far as how efficient he was. Came in close second, though. I feel like I came in close second. So here is some free extra credit. Let's see. What are I can't really look at it right now, but what are we looking at? All right. I am going to leave a section of this open on the end. Oh, history of a corset. Oh, nice. Yeah, so, let's see. I still have a bunch of this stuff. I have a ton of this spiral steel boning in a 1/4 inch, so it's not very wide. But I found, like, a supplier for it that was relatively inexpensive compared to others. And one of these days I'll make one. One of these days. Okay, here we go. We're gonna make our belt. Sewing is hard. Whoever tells you sewing should be easy and why can't you do it faster should be shot in the face. That's just ridiculous. This is not an easy profession. So, okay. I am going to a little bit further and then back tack. I'm going to move a little space right here and leave that portion open so that I can turn this out in theory. So I don't have notches on this, but I am holding on to the seam on one of the side seams here to make sure that this is as evenly distributed as possible. And both of the upper and the lower fold of the fabric are meeting where they should be. And I'm keeping a little tension while holding on to that seam meeting exactly in the middle. We shall see. We shall see. Okay, here. See, I have an essay on corset to write at the end of the month too. Carol, you just reminded me of this song from MIP with that quote about sewing. What quote about sewing did I say? Oh, I love this! Art of the Dress. Yes, of course, rarity is my spirit animal, so anything with rarity in it, I'm all about. On my other machine, before I got this new one, I had a sticker of rarity on my machine. I love rarity for obvious reasons. She's my favorite. That's so cute. Okay. We did it. We made a bell. Before I be right back, would you make and sell digital patterns on Etsy in the future? Yeah, I've been thinking about doing that very seriously, and I have been lazy, I'm sorry. But yes, it has come to my attention that that might be something that I could do. I've been so busy with doing other people's commissions though, so I haven't really, all I want to do is like do the commission and then play games, so it's terrible habits. But yes, in short, yes, I have thought about doing that. I would like to. Alright guys, what do we do with our corners? Remember? What do we do with our corners? No, we don't snip our corners. Melon, you know better. We never snip our corners. We always fold them so that they come out in a perfect point like this. And pointy triangle? What if not square? That is a good question. If it's like on the diagonal of say a waist tie that has that cute little diagonal on it, there does need to be some snipping made, but also you still try to press the corners as crisp as you can because you want that point to be very pointy. So yes, you do have to remove some bulk if it's going to overlap too much, but usually still you want to press in and fold in your seams to each other so that you can get a nice point when it's folded like that. So, that being said, let's see, this is satin, so I can just like finger press it and leave it in there like that. Okay, time to turn this out. Yeah. Melon! I'm so disappointed. Just sort of easing this into an inside out sort of state. Just rolling it. It's pretty easy to work with, so it's not giving me too much trouble. I'm getting to the interfaced part. Is there a way to know before cutting if something is going to be too pointy or triangle to turn inside out? Well, for the most part, the method that I just showed you is usually done for collars. So it's really just folding in your seams, and if the degree of the angle is just too shallow for it to fit in nicely like this, some trimming might be required, but you don't want to trim too much because you still want some of the fabric there so that you can press it and still fold it in, just so long as there's not little overlapping on the inside of the fold, to make sure that that point comes out nice and clean. It's really just a matter of getting a feel for it and playing with it. So folding it, checking it, doing it again. Cutting the pattern onto the fabric. My notes are surprisingly understandable at this point. Pat self on back. Good for you. You have good notes then. Have you ever considered going to Santa Fe Community College for fashion design? You would be eligible for a Pell Grant, I assume, at this point, and that pretty much lets you go there for free. That's how I did it. And now I'm teaching there. So I'm the sewing instructor there at Santa Fe. Really considering it even more now with some of the new things there. Cool. They are a really good art school. They have excellent art department, and the fashion design school also included in that. We are the only accredited fashion design program in the entire state. So if you wanted to try your hand at fashion design, Santa Fe Community College is not too long of a drive to get there, and is just a really good school overall for arts. Okay, I did it. This needs to be pressed now. More pressing. What is the difference between fashion design and costume design? Well, fashion design is, I was actually just talking to Ruben Kitten about this earlier today, that I originally, when I got into the fashion design program at the Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising in Los Angeles, I wasn't so much interested in fashion. I liked sewing, and I liked sewing my own costumes. And I decided that I wanted to pursue something where I could do that professionally. And I found the in by going to the Fashion Institute because they had an advanced program. If you completed the fashion design program, they had the program where you can move on for another 2-year degree doing costumes for film and television. So I kind of like just tolerated the fashion design aspect of it, so you could learn the basics of color theory, draping, pattern drafting and construction, and all of those things combined, illustration as well, so that you would have the basics to move on to costume design. Costume design is more of a fantasy sort of thing. Fashion design relates more to mainstream fashion, everyday wear, and the different aspects of what people would wear just in their personal lives, as opposed to telling and illustrating a story through the costumes. And as it turns out, I discovered alternative fashion, which is neither fashion or costume, but somewhere in between, which I very much appreciated. I will always thank my experience of seeing my first Lolita in the wild for inspiring me to do this back in 2003 or something like that. So I've heard that things are more durable in theater than fashion. There is some truth to that. In theater, what has to be done is the seam allowances are different. The way things are constructed are more engineered as opposed to comfortable wearable stuff. So for instance, you would have to figure out, well, how does this person quick change in less than 2 minutes from a ball gown to another ball gown? And there would be ways of employing things that they called whopper poppers, for instance. Giant snaps about yay big all across the seams of the dress so that they could just pull it off and then go back on stage wearing something seemingly completely different. There's more engineering as opposed to wearability. So while things are more durable because it has to pass hands a lot, if a show is touring, something has to have wider seam allowances so that it can fit the next actor that might be touring at that particular location because people's sizes are different. There's just a lot that goes into it. Whereas fashion design focuses more on the commercial aspect of clothing and developing different size ranges and styles for your market, and there's market research and stuff like that. So there's quite a few differences. The only thing they have in common really is you're making something that people wear. One dress for one scene has different versions for different shots. can't figure out how to word it better. It depends, like, what you're talking about for film. I'm talking about stage. Have you ever seen, like, the quick changes that they do for stage productions? Especially, I think The King and I had a really interesting quick change. Or the fast change, the quick change of Cinderella, where she goes from wearing her rags to spinning around in a circle, and she magically changes into a ball gown. And that sort of thing employs engineering techniques in the way that something is constructed. I want 50 quick change magical girl cosplays and candy-colored smoke bombs so bad. Yeah, I think those kinds of things are fascinating. Okay, I think we got something here. This is not as wide of a belt as I've usually made in the past for this dress, but I think this might be a little bit more subtle. This might be more dainty. So it'll still work to break up the pattern. So here we have the belt. The front part of the belt is interfaced with that really sweet, soft tricot, Pro Tricot Deluxe that I found only one company sells. Alright, we have a belt, we have the lining. Whew! It's gonna be break time soon. I think it's break time, guys. It's almost 2:30 and I can come back in a little less than an hour this time, but I do need to sit down for a minute. So I'm gonna be back at, it's 2:30 almost right now. I'll see if I can come back in about 45 minutes. So if you want to come back with me, I'm sure you're gonna get a notification if you're following me. I have also been tweeting because now Streamlabs allows me to tweet when I'm going online, so it automatically updates anybody who follows my Twitter. So I also have Twitter, in case you're wondering, and I'm at Miss Carol Belle. You can find me there. I'm also on Instagram, if you want to look at my Instagram. In any case, I'm going to take my break, and I'll be back in about 45 or so, and you'll get the notice about it. So thank you so much. It's tricot. It is tricot. It's not tricot. It's definitely tricot. It's a French word. So, okay, so I am going to see you after a while.